Brian, join us in the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a motion to approve the minutes of the April 19th, 2016 meeting.
I'll second.
Rowdy made the motion, Carol seconds. Is that an all yes?
Yes.
Wilson is with us tonight. Before we go any further, I'd like everybody to be with you, just join us in a moment of silence for Mrs. Merlin Stratton. And I'm sure all of you feel the same as I do. Our condolences to the Stratton, the Browning family, and students, staff, and everybody, not only in West Hamlin, but here in Hamlin where she went to school and worked, and throughout Lincoln County. You know, we're a small county, and everybody's tied to one another. I had Merlin in school myself, so it was a sudden thing, it was tragic, but we just if everybody just joined for a moment of silence in our honor, please. Thank you very much. Okay, tonight, let's see, Mr. Linwood, do we have anybody sign in to speak to the rest of the board? Nobody there. Okay. All right, the reports, we have Rod Cummings, Transportation Update. Rod?
Hey, good afternoon. I just wanted to take a brief moment or two and go over a couple of things as far as transportation world goes. One of the things I wanted to talk about, if you see up on the top, I have a report that we generate from our finances for the previous 5 years and how much money we had spent at this time during those years. This year we've spent $684,832. As you can see, that's considerably less than any of the previous years. We're actually $276 and so below what we spent this time last year. Some of that obviously contributes to the lower cost of diesel, but a lot of it too it is due to us shopping around and doing a lot of the repairs ourselves instead of sending them out. And I just wanted to present that to you.
Does the bus lease versus purchase issue, does that also have an impact on this?
Not on this part of it. Just here down when I get down to the bottom one, we'll talk about that for a little bit. The second one I wanted to talk about was our digital radios. And just in case you don't know, that it's no cost to us. It was from a grant that was written that takes care of purchasing digital radios for all of our fleet. We have 15 radios still to be installed. We run into a little difficulty with the install this past weekend, so we'll have to reschedule that. But these things are working fantastic for us. The clarity is so much better than the other radios. I was a little concerned when we started this process that the coverage wouldn't be as good, but it seems to be much better than what we had before. It gives us the ability to talk to our buses if we're on a trip in the northern panhandle or the eastern panhandle, just like they were here, which is a big plus for people that are on trips to be able to contact us if something goes wrong.
Are there different frequencies or stations?
Yeah, we have 4 channels, I guess,
Channels.
frequencies that go to us. One channel is the bus garage. So if somebody's out and they need to get in contact with us, they go to channel 1. Then they can pick us up. We have Harts has a channel, West Hamlin and Hamlin has a channel, and Duval has one, so that they can, do their normal talking, whatever, pick this kid up or do that on those channels. If we need one of them, we can go to that channel, holler at them, tell them to come to number 1 so that we don't get any interference.
But if you were out of, could you be out of state, or of course our buses don't go out of state? You can be far away and still.
Yeah, my understanding is anywhere in the state, I would assume the same thing happens if they were in Ohio or Kentucky, but
I know they would be.
But I don't know that for sure. But with the 911 tower systems throughout the state, if it's in the northern panhandle, it'll pick up one of those towers and relay it back to us.
That's helpful.
anyway, I think this is a really good benefit for us and even helps that it's not included in the price because it was a grant. New bus purchases is something that we always talk about this time of year. You know, usually we've already made an order if we would want to by now. But with the state budget kind of up in limbo, it's not been finalized. We don't know exactly how much money we're going to get. They projected a number. So the prudent thing for us to do is to wait until that number's finalized and then decide what to do. We have, with money from bus sales, from wrecks that we've had, we have $167,929 that we can use to purchase new buses. That's in addition to what the state will give us this year. So, you know, that buses generally run in the $8,000 range. So we're right about 2 buses that we could purchase if we wanted to. I think with the way the economy and the state's going with money, that it would be prudent for us to at least hang on to some of that money for later on. Because as you mentioned, our lease purchase, which we were fortunate or lucky to do when we did, to put us in, you know, pretty good shape with buses, we have a $220,000 a year payment on that for 4 years. So if we could hold on to some of this in case they cut our money off, we'll be, you know, in a better shape.
So you say there's this money and then,
Yeah, the state gives us, I just think of.
now you're talking about next year's budget,
Yeah, I'm
right?
talking about for next year's
So
budget.
we have to have at least 200 or something just to break even, right?
Yeah, and they've got 360, I think it is, projected to come our way. If that meets the you know, if the budget's approved and that's what we get, then we've got excess of the 220 that we need that we can
That's
purchase.
what I was, yeah, that's 220 every year comes off.
For the next, what, 4 more
Four
years?
more years.
2017, 18, 19, 20.
Yes.
And then do we own those buses?
Then we,
Not like
yeah,
that?
then we want
Okay.
those buses,
But we got, for that money, we got how many buses?
10 buses. We come out looking pretty good.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, our fleet was old. We did it this way, we kind of front-loaded and got a pretty good fleet of buses with these newer ones. Of course, you know, new buses have problems too. But if next year, which could happen, they completely cut the budget for new bus purchases, we got them. If we save this $167,000, which is what I'd like to do, then we would be able to make the payment or the majority of the payment if they do cut us.
Well, let me ask you this, and kind of what you have to do anyway, I put you on the spot.
That's all right.
But as far as the condition of our bus fleet in general,
Yeah.
looking at 2017, with what we have now, I mean, a doomsday scenario, do you anticipate that we'll need to replace, I mean, need, not want, not prudent, but need to replace any buses next year?
I think we could limp by next year if we need to.
Okay.
You know, we have some older buses and it's difficult to keep them running sometimes, which is obvious. But if we have to, we can limp by. And that's what that 10 buses did for us.
Yeah.
You know, it give us a little bit of wiggle room. Now, I think we would be better off if we could get one bus maybe this year. You know, to kind of keep restocking and then to go down the road in 4 years and maybe look at leasing another 8 or 10 again, depending on how much money we have.
Yeah, well, I mean, as you know, we're all sitting in the same budgetary issue. Nobody knows what we're gonna have come next year.
Yeah.
And I mean, I understand that if you keep a bus limping along for a year, it just puts you that much farther down the road when you have to replace 2 or 3 at once, you know, in a subsequent year, but. just-
Yeah, and it hurts us on our other
Right,
figures
so
too,
run
as
your
far
maintenance
as
costs and
our
everything
maintenance
else up.
costs. You know, so it's a kind of a juggle, but to go back, if we have to, we can manage another year.
Well, and if, you know, so long as the budget comes in where it needs to be, if we need a bus,
Yeah.
and we have the money to buy a bus, then we buy a bus. We still have a nest egg. I mean, so,
It's kind of like being at home, you know, hold back enough that you can make your payments if you have to.
it just hurts though, looking at, I mean, when I'm looking at these budgets, you're saying $360,000 coming from the state for buses next year is what you anticipate. What did we get this year from the state for buses?
About the same, it's just a little bit more. I don't have
Okay.
the figures in front of me.
So the budget, the 5-year comparison of budget numbers that we're looking at, that includes funding from other sources. So the paper you've got in your hand that has these budgets,
Yeah,
these are totally different numbers from what we spend on buses.
yes, it is.
This doesn't include bus purchases, leases, et cetera. or-
No, it doesn't.
Okay, all right.
And this figure doesn't include salaries either. There's another report that we run that has salaries.
Okay,
So-
well, what I was looking at and thinking is, good night. You know, in 2012, we had $1 million to spend, and now we're down to 360. Those numbers don't work, but I was looking at apples and oranges. Thank you.
How many spares do we have now?
We got about 10 spares. We've got, I know there's 2 that they're getting ready to take and have re-inspected tomorrow maybe. You know, we're running about 10 spares right now. Some of them are on the road because we've got some out, you know, being repaired right now.
That's better than last year.
It's better than last year.
We'll look at it.
We're a little better shape than we were last year.
Good. Transportation's a bright spot. We like it.
Hey, all right. Just keep it going that way. All right, anything else?
Anybody have anything, Fred?
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Robbie. Okay, like everybody's noticed, this budget, we don't know what'll happen. We may get 300,000, we might get anything. Okay, let's go to administrative section. Have a motion, please. Fred made a motion, Rowdy second. Mr. Mew.
Item A is out-of-county student transfer for the 2016-2017 school year. Item B is out-of-state trip for student success mentors from Lee County High School, Duval, Hamlin, Guy Valley Middle School, and West Hamlin to COSI in Columbus, Ohio, May the 5th, 2016, transported by private coach, funded through 21st Century After School Grant. Mrs. Kersey is here, by the way, if you all happen to have a question about that activity. It is part of a dropout prevention program through the Education Alliance, and it's basically 4 students who are participating in this activity.
One-day trip?
I think she has laryngitis.
No. So you put her on the phone.
Yeah, I did, I forgot, sorry. You can sign it too. Item C, school volunteers who on occasion may also serve as bus chaperones for athletic events, academic competitions, or school outings, and have completed volunteer orientation.
Okay.
All right.
That all good?
That's all.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on any of those items? I'm going to call for questions, and an all yes vote on the administrative items.
Yes.
Yeah, yes? Okay. Go to the finance section. Carol made a motion. Fred seconds. Ms. Gandy isn't here, so we'll look at Mr. Linville.
Item A, scheduled invoices totaling $108,295.70. Attachment, invoices are available for public review at the county office. Item B, a salary adjustment of $15,479.30 annually for Rhonda Kersey, 21st Century After School Coordinator, in accordance with salary schedule number 16, Level X Coordinator dash Professional Personnel, effective July 1, 16.
And I'd just like to add, the manner in which we have been paying Ms. Kersey for her duties as coordinator did not really follow our salary schedule, whereby she wasn't being given credit for her degree level, her years of experience, or the $15 supplement that goes with that position. So this is an adjustment to correctly reflect those areas in her pay, effective July 1.
I mean, this may be not be the proper place to talk about it at the time, but are we gonna be looking at having to do a retrospective adjustment?
No.
Okay.
Everybody? Okay. No further questions? Then on the finance items, is that all yes vote?
Yes.
Okay. All right, personnel, motion, or, can I have a motion, yes? Fred, Rowdy. You again, Bill.
Okay, item A, employment of short and long-term substitute professional personnel. Item B, transfer of professional personnel. Item C, employment of extracurricular athletic personnel. Item D, employment of extracurricular athletic personnel pending renewal of coaches authorization. And item E, retirement and resignations.
Anybody have any questions about any of the personnel items?
I'd like to make a comment,
Mr.
if it's okay. Under item D, oftentimes we get questions about renewing coaches' contracts at this time of year, but I'd just like to point out that the reason we do this now is because there is a 3-week window in July that coaches have an opportunity to work with their student athletes, and if we don't have them hired in place, they don't have the opportunity to work with those kids.
And that's changed that time, hasn't it? Anybody have any other questions about or comments about personnel? Not then all yes vote for the personnel attachment.
Yes.
Okay. We'll get down to comments and concerns, board members.
Well, we know anything up football field or the ramp or anything?
I've not received any additional information since our last board meeting with Mr. Ferguson. The latest I had, what I shared with you, was that he anticipated the soil borings to take place this week, and he anticipated having the bid specifications ready for advertisement by Friday.
Let's get away.
We'll wait.
Anybody else have anything else? Okay. That being said,
Steve, sorry, item 3, Dallas Plumley.
Mr. Plummer, I assume, chose not to.
He
Okay.
contacted us, yes, unless he
I'm
would not be
sorry.
here today.
Sorry.
I had mine scratched out already. Okay, the next item we have is a student disciplinary hearing scheduled for 2 o'clock, so I think what we need to do now is adjourn at 1:17. Can I have a motion to adjourn and commence again at 2 o'clock, please? Got a motion? So moved. Riley makes a motion, second by Carol, adjourn till 2 o'clock.